Hello and welcome. I'm Renee, and this is Way Lighter Life. There are some of you who, like me, have been feeling that there are seismic changes coming, and you may be wondering what that means. And I just wanted to reassure you. I think that people are going to be having two very distinct experiences. There are going to be some like you who have been feeling this and hearing this change in the wind for a while now. You've been preparing. And that preparation is going to help you even if you feel like, well, Renee, I really don't know what I've done to prepare because I haven't known how to do so. But Source does. And I think that if you reflect internally, you'll feel that you're different than you were even 6 months ago, or maybe even 3 months ago. Three is what sticks in my head, and that's like a blink in terms of change. That's usually a baseline minimum for any type of change that sticks. There are going to be others who have been resisting this or who just haven't seen it. They've had their head down and have been going on with life very much business as usual and feeling that they're on a clear trajectory that they've been on for some time and that they've chosen this. Many of those folks are going to suddenly find that the road ends. Some of this is going to be a push, or excuse me, a pull, not a push. And by that, I mean it's going to be a change that you suddenly woke up one day and said, this old way of doing things feels old. It doesn't feel like my now anymore. And I want to walk into a different reality. And you are making that shift. Maybe you did it today. Maybe you did it recently. Maybe you've set a deadline of 6 months or a year. It's going to happen, and you are making it happen. You are answering a call. And as I said, others are not quite there yet. And for them, it's going to be sudden and much more jarring. I wanted to do a quick reading today about what Source has to say to us about these coming changes. So let's just check in and see what Spirit wants to bring through. Spirit, what do you have to say about this feeling of imminently impending changes? Sounds very dramatic, imminently impendent changes, but that is that is what is coming through to me. All right, we're there. Oh gosh. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, change is coming. So we have the King of Cups, the Hierophant, the Lover's card, the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the reverse Ten of Cups, which I tend not to read reverses, but they've been showing up in my cards lately. So when they do, I take them. I had not planned to go for a longer reading and get clarification, but given this reading, I will do that. All right, so we have the King of Cups and the Hierophant. So what is it about the coming changes? It is that the way of ruling both secularly and through spirituality traditionally needs to be more heart-centered. That in the future, our leadership is moving to a place that includes the heart. It's not only the heart, and we've seen this lately, the King of Swords has been pairing frequently with the King of Cups and with other, like the Emperor card, other cards, characters, but it has been telling us that the heart has to be included in the future. We're at a point where we're no longer willing to just say, well, what can I do about it? Gosh, I feel really sorry for those people. And we need to hold accountable the spiritual community and the traditional spiritual community to include that heart as well. That's going to mean that some of the divisions that we currently practice between traditional and non-traditional spirituality, we're going to need to open our hearts on both sides. And again, this is something that came through in that channeled vision of people on different roads that had very different ideas. Suddenly, all of those were like on ramps onto a single road, and people started talking to each other. And out of those conversations came beautiful new ideas. That was a wonderful reading, and it's encouraging to think that where right now we seem to only see people who have just entrenched in their own ideas, whether out of feelings of needing safety or whether they're desiring power, sometimes both, that in future we will be able to work together. It's going to take effort, and that's going to be a choice. Okay, so let's go here first. The Lover's card used to be called the Choice card. It is still about making a choice. And just to be clear, starting with the King of Cups, this is a choice about love. It is a choice for partnership, which is exactly what I was just talking about. We will have new ideas of partnership in future, what it means, how it functions. Right now, the only forms of partnership that we really have in our heads are usually either romantic partnerships or business partnerships. Excuse me. Yeah, choked up a little bit there. Um, we are turning away from those ideas. We're not turning away from love. I just want to be really clear. Source would not ask us to turn away from love. We are turning away from more traditional senses of partnerships. We've already seen that in ideas of marriage and ideas of romantic love. We will see it more in business in future. I think that the ways that we work together are going to be changing. And that means, think of how sweeping that is. If you change the way that we work together, we change the economic basis, that has widespread that brings widespread societal changes as well. And that trickles down into every single household. No matter what your family configuration is, that affects everyone. So these traditional ideas of love and what it means to make a choice out of love, what it means to be a good partner, what it means to express your love this is all changing. We are fundamentally walking away from the this idea that some win and some lose, uh, and we are going toward a higher calling. We are going toward something else. These no longer work for us. They cause endless worry. They cause nights of angst and feelings of rejection where we just get caught in a loop of feeling unworthy and unable to get out of our current circumstances. And therefore, we just perpetuate the nightmare. Instead, we're going to have to learn to allow our wishes to be granted, maybe in a new way. So the Ten of Cups is the card of, open hearts, joy. It's like a minor sun card of sorts. You see the brilliant day is there. It came up in reverse. So we are not yet at the point where we are allowing ourselves to wish for and accept the life that we want. I think this is really the heart of this message is allowing and really calling in, not just allowing, but calling and allowing this beautiful day and way of living that is joyous and from the heart. Let's see what else Source has to say. I'm being told maybe to pick another deck. Okay, we will pick another deck. Hadn't expected that, so I didn't have it out. And to start with an oracle card. All right, and it's on top. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Glamour and harmony. Now, there are a couple of ways to read this. These are both cards that I would say are ruled by Venus. One of them is the way that we think of glamour. It's our way of presenting to the world. I don't want to call it a facade necessarily because it isn't always. It can be a fun way to interface. People treat us, for better and for worse, very often for worse, unfortunately, according to how we look and what meanings they attach to to that appearance. This, though, is saying, hey, celebrate. There's a glass of champagne there. What if you were preparing yourself to celebrate? What if you were thinking that this is an occasion to celebrate and that what you are celebrating is greater harmony? So this card has two meanings, this harmony. It means sometimes that there is disharmony, but that it is resolving for greater harmony and this wonderfully basic feeling that we get from like just a sandwich with beautiful jam. I mean, you can see this is like fresh cooked. It still has the steam coming off of it, fresh baked, I should say. Um, and this wonderful jam that looks like it's homemade. It has a handwritten label across it. Just the simple things in life. I have been getting the messages for quite some time. And in fact, I am beginning to change my business direction towards something that's been on my heart for about a year now, which is to help people return to a more of a sense of simplicity in their lives and what it is that helps them to find peace. And my alarm just went off with that. So forgive me and hang on just one moment. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. That is to remind me for my afternoon meditation, which I'm doing now. This is actually one of the practices I put in place using Ziva meditation to help me have a sense of groundedness. That is going to be critical to this time of change. We've been in a time of change. It's going to accelerate. It's going to accelerate like I'm seeing a merry-go-round go round and round, and the faster it goes, if you're not hanging on really well and you're not positioned, you go flying off the side. That is how many of us are going to feel. So think of a practice right now that you can do that doesn't take a whole lot of time, even 5 minutes, even 1 minute of just deep breathing can assist you in feeling calmer and more present. All right. Let's see what other clarification Source wants to bring forward. Actually, Source is telling me that was the clarification in the Oracle cards. I'm going to ask for a couple of more cards, please, from Source about our tarot reading. Just to recap the storyline, a new way of leading, and that includes spirituality. It is from the heart. It is making choices from that aspect, learning how to be partners in new ways, where we are blessed by the angel, and I want to say this is Gabriel, who is the archangel of communication, which certainly fits the Lover's card, a Gemini card. Those, and I will just say also, not just external lovers, but Gemini with its mirrored reflection reminds us of the internal twin relationship that we have between divine masculine and divine feminine as well. And then turning away from what has been, what hasn't worked, and that has caused us endless anxiety, feeling the anxiety of calling in a happy life, but learning to do so and to accept it. That was our storyline. All right. Clarifications, please. Yeah. All right. So we have here a decision point with a pause. So we are in what I have felt very strongly, we are in a moment of pause. So those of you who have been feeling like, I know something is coming, when is it going to arrive? I feel it. I feel it. I know I should be preparing. What do I need to do? Do I have to activate it? You will have to make a decision. And that is, here we have, whoops. All right, everything's backwards, sorry. We have the Two of Wands, which is a decision point, and looking out on the horizon, doing the best that we can with the information that we have. And I just want to point out that this globe really comes through in this particular card, and I love all the magic twinkling around it. This is something that is global. It is not only for you, it's not only for your family, it's not only for your life. This is something that we are all going through right now, and it has the potential to bring us together, these decisions. We're in a time of pausing right now where our perspective is invited to catch up with us. So this is the version of the Hanged One in this deck. He is turned upside down and seeing the world differently. It's time to have this fresh perspective, and we're actually being given a little bit of time to adjust to it. We have not only the Two of Wands, but the Three of Wands, and these two have been coming out together consistently lately. Some decision that we make is changing how we move through life. We've sent our ships out. We're waiting now for them to come in, and we're wondering, will it be today? What will be the result? What will be the fruit of my labor? And part of that is we are learning, many of us are feeling the need to not only learn for ourselves, but also to teach. I am seeing that the spiritual community, for those who have been on the spiritual path for a while, we're being called to teach now. We're being called to bring in a mass a huge number of people who are spiritually awakening now. And we have to remember how confusing that time can be as you have senses that are coming online and you don't understand, where's this information coming from? Why am I having these visions? Why am I hearing things? Why am I dreaming things? What does it mean? It's exciting and exhilarating and terrifying at times. Certainly, it's disconcerting. And without any guidance, you can feel very left out in the cold. We have here the Five of Pentacles. So rather than have people feel that way, we have the ability to bring the Ace of Cups. And I just want to say, we started with this King of Cups. We're ending with the Ace of Cups. This is a beautiful bookend to this reading. So we are having societal changes where we're going to demand that the heart is included in decision making. And we're ending with this idea of helping those who are spiritually awakening not feel left out in the cold, but instead feel that the world is opening up. The world is their oyster. Not just another life, not just another dimension, but the world. Remember the globe here? The 3D and the 5D are coming together. This theme has been coming out really consistently in the readings lately that I've been doing. If you watch my channel at all, you'll have heard this. It's very, very strong. The sky or heaven is coming to earth, and this is what we're intended to be working on right now. If we do, there's a pearl to be had. It's going to require us to soften our boundaries some, not going back to codependency, not, but softening and opening our heart and trusting that life itself, source, spirit, your guardians, your angels, those that you work with, your star buddies, whoever it is, your dragons, your pet, that there is around you, there can be already boundaries of light, of love, and that you can therefore open your heart. We're being invited into a whole new reality where the heart is not a nice to have, it is a need to have, and it always was. And in accepting that truth, that one truth, we can change our reality. Sounds very highfalutin. It's up to each of us to figure out, how can I do that? How can I fulfill that truth with my own talent, with my own insights, with my own people? And that collectively will make a huge difference in our future. That is what has come through. That is the way forward to greater harmony within ourselves. We're not left out. We're not being asked to sacrifice ourselves within ourselves as well as for other people. And in that vein, wishing you so much love. Really, really appreciate the hard work that you are doing. We have all been through a pretty dark night for a while. And then we've been in a frustrating holding pattern. Now it's time to move. It's time to move forward. External events are going to invite us to do that. All right, stay grounded, and I will talk with you soon.